All right, House Democrat Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries actually toured the besieged southern border today. But comically, I've got to say the timing of this is just one day after the White House slammed Speaker McCarthy for going to the southern border as nothing other than a photo op and political showmanship. So, look, I have been to the border many, many times. I've been to every sector, and I have been absolutely stunned at what is happening on our southern border. It is inexcusable. And I'm glad the minority leader has gone today. I certainly hope that it was more than a photo op. I hope he actually had his eyes open. I hope he was paying attention. It is impossible to not see the crisis that is occurring at our southern border if you just go there and look. And so will Congressman Jeffries acknowledge some of that reality? Well, joining me now to discuss this and more is my good friend, U.S. Congressman Andy Biggs from Arizona. He is a member of the House Judiciary Committee, which released a report today. He represents the 5th Congressional District in Arizona. Representative Biggs, thank you so much for joining us on Washington Watch. Great to have you.
Congressman Heiss, it's good to be with you. Good to see you again.
Well, likewise, great to see you. Listen, I just got to live. I'll just jump off of what I was just talking about. This whole comment from the White House that these trips to the southern border are nothing more than a photo op. That's all they are. Big photo op. What changed? I've been there with you. In fact, I've been there several times with you. These are not photo ops.
No, they're not. I mean, when we go, we work pretty hard, but I think they're reflecting on themselves. I mean, so Kamala Harris goes to the border. She hits a margarita at a restaurant, gets a margarita. Joe Biden goes down to El Paso, and Jody, they cleaned it up. It was totally sanitized. I talked to people, and so for them, it was a photo op. But for us, it's information gathering. We have to see it. I'm always trying to get other people to understand the gravity of the situation. That's why I lead all these congressional delegations down there.
Yep, you've led a bunch of them. And so let's just go with that. What would Congressman Jeffries learn on a trip like this if he paid attention, if he actually looked at what's happening?
Well, he would discover that our border is wide open, that fentanyl's coming across. You have human and sex trafficking coming across relentlessly. And then you would see that it's the policies that are driving it. So when you had Remain in Mexico policy, you actually had a tremendous impact when you were actually deporting people, removing people who had due process even. Guess what? People stopped coming. And so if his eyes are open, he's going to see a border that's porous. Now, my guess is, Jody, the thing that he won't see, that he should perceive, is that the cartel controls our entire southwest border. And so the cartel knows who's coming, and they're going to try to hold people back because they don't want to make it look like it is a massive run to the border. So if his eyes are open, he will come to understand that the cartel controls the border, not the U.S. government, not Border Patrol, not ICE, not OFO, none of them. It's the bad guys.
Yeah, and nothing good comes from the cartel's control. I recall being on one of those trips with you, and we stopped off an interstate probably 70 miles from the border inside U.S. territory, 70 miles. And I will never forget the law enforcement officers telling us right now, you have a scope on you. You are being watched by the cartels 70 miles inside the U.S. border. It's unbelievable what's taking place there. Let me real quickly get your response yesterday. Speaker McCarthy, I was really pleased. He's, my understanding, the first Speaker of the House ever to take a trip to the southern border, but he took a trip with some freshmen. So I'm proud of him and proud of those freshmen for going. Have you heard from any of them yet as to what they saw, what their reaction was?
I haven't formally heard. We've heard through back channels, and I know that Mr. McCarthy, the Speaker, is really serious about wanting to get something done. I believe that. I believe that to be the case. And we got the Judiciary going again next week. You've got Homeland Security Committee going next week. So you're seeing the good news is with McCarthy there and him and the people, some of us rattling the chain, you're seeing an actual serious move to get down to the border and see what needs to be fixed and talk to the local people. That's one of the weird things. I mean, the Biden administration said, well, there was no. This is why Democrats aren't going to come to our official hearing next week, is because we don't have any federal officials. We're just going to be talking to local officials, elected officials,
The people
ranchers,
who know.
business people who are affected by it. They don't.
Right.
We don't want to know that. We just want to know what Mayorkas says, for Pete's sakes.
All right, let me ask you this last question. We've got less than a minute. You have filed articles of impeachment against Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Explain why, real quickly, and we've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, you got two things going. I think that he's attacked purposefully the geographical integrity of this nation, which puts our sovereignty at stake and puts us in line for dissolution as a nation. And I can give you I give you a myriad of things, but just one of them is he will not let people who have already received due process and have a removal order, he will not let ICE look for them and remove them from the country, if you can believe that. So he's purposely violating the law. And this catch and release program is outrageous, Jody. Outrageous.
It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. Congressman Andy Biggs from Arizona, thank you so much for joining us on Washington Watch. Great to see you, my friend.
Great to see you. Hope to see you in D.C. soon.
Thank you much.